This week, we're headed to D.C. for the keys to victory against the Washington Commanders. What's going on, faithful? Welcome to the Keys to Victory by your boy WayneBreezie. You can find this article right there on www.49erswebzone.com. It's week 17 in the NFL, ladies and gents, and the 49ers are headed out to Washington, D.C. to take on the Washington Commanders. Yep, the Washington Commanders at the end of the season. They played them last year at the end of the season as well in Santa Clara. But this year they got to go on the road and they got to face the Commanders. Now, there's some keys to victory that I want to get to, and let's go ahead and get right down to it. Shout out to our sponsors over at Residency. You can go to www.residency.com, use the promo code SFBreezy, and you'll save $5 on your total purchase. All right, let's get down to the keys to victory. Number one, a balanced attack, right? So, like, last week, we watched the 49ers pretty much play an unbalanced game. And there's so many reasons to why the game could have been unbalanced, right? So there were 4 interceptions thrown, but the score was still relatively close, and the balance was still off. And when I talk about balance, I mean a good mixture of run, a good mixture of pass. It doesn't matter what type of passes you throw, whether they're screen passes, swing passes, shuffle passes. It doesn't matter. Just keep the game balanced. Make that defense play honest as well. And so you don't want to become one-dimensional as an offense, and the way to not become one-dimensional is by having a balanced attack, right? A balanced attack. Pass the ball, throw the ball. It doesn't matter if you come out throwing the ball first. It doesn't matter if you come out running the ball first. Just find a way to take advantage of what the defense is giving you. And I feel like when Brock Purdy, it just seemed like in the Ravens game, you know, when you look at the ratio 18-42, that's a pretty odd balance, you know, when it comes to having a balanced attack. And so, or was it 46? All I know is it was a lot of pass attempts. So I would lessen the pass attempts. And here's why you could probably lessen the pass attempts. I think in this particular game, you'll get a lot more explosive plays, but you get the explosive plays on the ground as well, especially playing against a defense that is ranked dead last in the NFL in total defense. They give up over 384.3 yards per game. That's a lot. That's a lot. The Niners are averaging over 400 yards per game. So they're giving up what the Niners average and more. So I expect the Niners to come out there with a nice balanced attack and get in control, get into a rhythm, and all that good stuff. So a good mixture of run, good mixture of pass. Create that rhythm, Kyle Shanahan. Number 2, let it rip, Brock. Here we go. Look, I know Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions, had the lowest passer rating of his life. He threw the most interceptions of his life. He still had a pretty decent passing yard game. But let it rip, because the thing about Brock is he's still young, he's still learning, he's still processing. And why not come back this week and let it rip? And here's why he can let it rip. Okay, when you look at the Ravens, the Ravens secondary, they were top in the league in defending the pass. And Brock still found a way to let the ball rip. He still put up over 250 yards in that game. And found a way to just like let it rip and letting it rip and being that type of person. I mean, one of the interceptions was pretty much on Brock. He didn't understand the coverage, but the other ones, you can say the Ravens just had some luck. There's no way 2 weeks in a row a team's going to get luck like that where the ball tips and it just falls into their hands. I just don't think luck works like that. So, Brock, come back out here, let it rip, be the person that you are. I like that Brock didn't look flustered. He didn't look scared. He didn't look shaken after the interceptions in that game. He did go out with a stinger in that particular game, but I think Brock comes back and lets it rip. And when you're playing against a pass defense that's ranked, okay, hold on, they're ranked 31st in the NFL. They give up 261.6 yards in the air. You have to let it rip, right? That has to be the game plan. Look, They can't defend the pass. And on top of that, they're now going to be missing their starting cornerbacks. So now their third and fourth string cornerbacks, a former draft pick by the San Francisco 49ers and Tariq Castro Fields, will be starting. And he's going to have to defend the 49ers number one, whether it's Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk. Man, I'm letting it rip all day. And this could be a game in the air where the San Francisco 49ers not have one, but two and even three pass catchers that get over 1,000 yards in this game. I'm looking for George Kittle on one pass to reach the 1K club, and then Deebo Samuel only needs 166 yards. Why not? And I tell you right now, if this happens, Brock Purdy also will get over he would have the franchise record and beat out Jeff Garcia for over 4,200 yards in the NFL for the 49ers in this season. So you can potentially see four records broken, because we didn't even talk about the rushing record or the touchdown record by Christian McCaffrey. So yeah, let it rip. And speaking of Christian McCaffrey, let's get to the next part, which is keep the foot on the gas. Look, I know the Niners got punched in the mouth on Christmas night. It was a bad way to end the holiday or the holiday season. But you know what? There's one more holiday coming up, which is going to kick off the new year, which you can turn a new page, a new leaf. I think the 49ers get it started right away. And I think the 49ers need to come out and just keep their feet or their foot on the gas. You don't drive with 2 feet, so keep your foot on the gas, keep the pedal to the metal, and they could do this, right? They could do this whether they run the ball, they could do this whether they throw the ball. I think the 49ers, once they get into that red zone, once they get back into the rhythm of how they play football, I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers put up over 50 points in this game. Here's some fun facts. The Niners have scored 30 against the Giants, 42 against the Cowboys, and another 42 against the Eagles. They're averaging 38 points against the NFC East. Now they have the worst team in the NFC East, and the Washington Commanders, worst statistically. I'm going to say that the Niners keep the foot on the gas. Kyle Shanahan doesn't need to take his foot off the pedal, keep the pedal to the metal. If they do this, the Niners, and this will be good for the 49ers, right? Yeah, we can go out there, score on will, do what we need to do. You know, I'm always good about keeping, the inferior teams inferior. Show their dominance, show that they're superior, show why they're the best team in the NFL, and they can get back to that this week against the Commanders, but they must keep the foot on the gas. Number 4, make the Commanders one-dimensional. The Commanders want to run the ball. They're just not really good at it. They're not. They're ranked 19th in the league in rushing, and so they're not really good at rushing the ball. Brian Robinson's coming off of some type of injury. He hasn't played the past 2 weeks, but he probably will be available. Antonio Gibson will be another running back that they use. So they're going to try to find a way to run the ball. The Niners rank 3rd in taking away to run. If the Niners were able to find a way to contain Lamar Jackson and keep the Baltimore Ravens to 102 yards in total, I feel like the 49ers won't have a problem in defending the run in this game. Once they get that run down there and defend it, the run defense, I thought the 49ers did a superb job against the Baltimore Ravens. You just got to take away that one explosive play. They had one explosive run. The 49ers gave up one explosive run. You can check that video out on my Patreon, patreon.com/@WayneBreezie. And you can check out all the explosive plays. Just one. It was a Lamar Jackson on 3rd and 16. There was no spy, and he took off in a scramble and ran, and what happened. He got 31 yards on that play, right? Only one. As far as the running backs, they weren't going anywhere. I feel like the Washington Commanders have the same type of running backs, but they don't have that mobile quarterback like a Lamar Jackson that can make a play. Don't get it twisted. The Niners still have to come out with the mindset of containing the edge, make sure the edge is set, don't let the quarterback get outside, keep the quarterback in the pocket, and if the quarterback does take off and scramble on a play up the middle, get that quarterback down. Now, the reason why I'm saying get that quarterback down is because I don't know who's going to start. Is it Jacoby Brissett, who just suffered a hamstring injury, or will it be their starting quarterback for the whole season, Sam Howell? You don't know, but the 49ers need to be prepared. But make them one-dimensional. Make them throw the ball, and I tell you what, starting safety Logan Ryan, the Niners will now have 2 vets in that backfield. I kind of like this. Logan Ryan, Gip, I like this. I actually like this pairing. Logan Ryan will get his first pick in this game if they force the Commanders to be one-dimensional. Number 5, the 49ers have to find a way to limit the penalties. You cannot play mistake-free football. It's almost impossible. I think the 49ers on this season, I can tell you this right now, and this blew my mind. The 49ers have one game this year where they almost played penalty-free. It happened just a couple of weeks ago, even in this month of December, against the Arizona Cardinals, and the Scott Novak was the actual head umpire in this game. Okay, one penalty, just one. Well, when it comes down to playing, the Niners find ways to make mistakes and get penalties, and they just come at the worst opportune times for the San Francisco 49ers. So, some bad news is when the Niners give up double-digit penalties, they lose. Well, they're 1-3. They won week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers with 11 penalties, but they lost to the Cleveland Browns with 12 penalties, and then they just lost to the Baltimore Ravens with 10 penalties. So they're kind of like, don't give up those double-digit penalties. They do have a couple of other losses with some penalties under there, but the penalties were high in those games. If I go to the Minnesota Vikings, actually it was 5. That's about average. Now, the Niners are one of the worst teams in the league. They're ranked 26 in penalties. They average about 6.2 penalties per game. So the Niners just got to be on their A game. The good thing is they average 5.6 penalties per game against the NFC East. They had 6 against the Giants, 6 against the Cowboys, and only 5 against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm thinking that the Niners come out and play really good, sound football. There's some new players that's going to be out there on the football field, so penalties are going to happen. They just need to find a way to limit them. Like I said, you can't play mistake-free football, but if you can limit the penalties, the ball will be in your court, and the game will somehow be in your favor. Obviously, you limit the turnovers, you limit the penalties, the Niners will be good to go. I'm expecting the Niners to do damage in this particular game. I don't think that they should show any mercy whatsoever. And those are the keys to the victory. If you want to win this game, have a balanced attack on the offense. Let it rip Brock. Keep the foot on the gas. Make him one-dimensional. Just let him throw the daggone ball. And last but not least, limit the penalties. Thank you so much for paying attention to myself, your boy WayneBreezie. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Here are your keys to victory against the Washington Commanders. Happy New Year, guys, and thanks for watching. Love you. Peace.